Forex or trading for beginners? The short answer is no. Now, obviously, anybody now coming into the industry, you will be a beginner. Anything you're starting for the first time, you will be a beginner. Well, the question that a lot of people might have is, can a beginner to investing and the finance world start to trade? I don't think so. Right? I don't think that you can just come into this without having any prior knowledge and you can just start to get good results. If you do, it is definitely luck. Now, I want to make something clear. Let's talk about who trading is for, right? Trading is for somebody who is very dedicated, right? If you're not dedicated, then you're not going to make it here, because to be able to get good at this game, you need to have dedication. You need to be dedicated to learning every day, making sure that you understand what it is you're doing, making sure that you put what it is you've learned into practice every day, daily. You understand? It mightn't be taking trades every day, but you're learning lessons and trying to put them into practice daily, right? You need to be dedicated. You need to be disciplined. Discipline, obviously, is being able to, make a mistake and not feel like you need to go and try and fix it right away. You need to be calm, right? Calmness is one of the aspects of discipline. You don't want to be all over the place, right? If you're the type of person that you're all over the place, meaning you always have something happening, trading is going to be very hard for you to settle into, right? So you have to be calm. You have to be repetitive, right? Meaning you must be able to repeat the same thing over and over, not mistakes. When you find out something that is working, you don't want to change it, even when it mightn't necessarily be working this particular day or week. You keep doing it. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of traders, especially beginner traders, new traders, make is they might pick a strategy. It has an edge. We know it has an edge. And they start to see that it's not working this week or this 2 weeks or whatever. And they change it, thinking that the strategy is what's failing them, when in actuality, it's just the nature of the game. You must be able to be repetitive. Remember, there's a very distinct difference between insanity and repetition. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. And repetition is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting the same result. You want to be a repetitive trader, not an insane trader. You see, if you're losing, and you're doing the same thing, obviously you're insane, because you're expecting a different result by doing the same thing. But if it is you're winning, you want to keep doing the same thing over and over, because that's where repetitive or repetition comes from. So you need to be repetitive. You need to come from a place of very, very, for want of a better word, intellect, right? You can't just guess. Here, trust me, guessing, I'm not sure the term I'm looking for, but you need to think. That's what I really want to say. You need to think, right? You can't just say, okay, well, this looks good for buy, this looks good for sell. Trust me, you will lose a lot, all right? You need to think. Think about why the market is showing you certain things. If you're approaching the market from a technical analysis standpoint, you need to think about why the market is showing you certain things. What is the market trying to tell me here at this point in particular, right? So let's recap so far. So we need to be dedicated, we need to be calm, we need to be disciplined, we need to be repetitive. You need to be in absolute emotional control, right? If you're not in emotional control, meaning if it is you're the type of person when you get upset, you tend to lash out at people, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Because if it is you can't lash out at people, you'll lash out at the next easiest thing, which is the market. I've seen it time and time and time again, where traders, they're in a bad mood, or maybe they're even in a good mood, right? And you might think that being in a good mood is a good thing for being a trader. No, you must be neutral at all times. Emotional control, right? Being in too bad of a mood will make you see things not clearly. Being in too good of a mood will make you see things not clearly, right? So being in a bad mood, you might tend to undercompensate, right? Or you might tend to doubt yourself. And being in a good mood, you might tend to overcompensate. You might tend to start to you're overconfident in yourself, right? So you must be neutral. Emotional control, right? Things like FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. You have to make sure that is under control. Make sure you're not the type of person that has to be on the latest trends. Because if it is you're that type of person, I can guarantee you, here you're going to be destroyed. You want to make sure that you're not you're not afraid of taking advantage of opportunities, right? Meaning, if it is you're seeing the opportunity by virtue of your setup in front of you, you don't want to see it and not take it. Take advantage of the opportunity. This is another fear that I call fogey, which is the fear of getting in. FOGI. You want to make sure that once you've made your decision, that you stand by it, right? You made your decision. You decided that you want to buy or sell a particular chart. No problem. Cool. Here's what. Stand by that decision. Don't change it, because somebody tells you something else. This is another fear, which is FOSI, F-O-S-I, the fear of staying in. You're in the trade, it's winning, but somebody tells you their analysis is the exact opposite of what you're seeing. So you get scared and you close the position, only to realize that what? You would have been right. Stay in your lane. Don't listen to other people, right? If it is you have a strategy that has an edge, follow your strategy. Emotional control, right? Don't listen to outside and external, for want of a better word, sources, right? So dedication, calmness, discipline, repetitive, emotional control, psychological control. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're not, you're not an antsy type of trader, right? Meaning you're not trying to always get in and out of trades. Relax. You understand? So I'm telling you, this is who trading is for. If you're not these people, or if you don't have these things, trading is going to be hard for you, right? Psychological control, which is an aspect of, or emotional control is an aspect of psychology. Psychology can come from the place of understanding the psychology of the market, understanding who the traps are set for, understanding that there are traps set for the masses, which is the 90% of traders who lose, right? Then we have, you must be, I don't want to say you have to be good with numbers, but you should at least have a good understanding of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, ratios, and percentages. I think you don't need anything else, but I think those are good understanding of these things. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, ratios, and percentages. You have a good understanding of those things? Yeah, you could probably at least get the numbers aspect of this game down. Because if you look to the left, to the right here, you'll see these numbers. You do need to understand what these things mean. You need to be the type of person that is always willing to learn more. The instant you believe that you know everything about this industry is when you're going to start to lose. I have been doing this, I have been trading for well over 6 years. Well, almost 6 years at this point, right? Around 6 years. No, sorry, that's more than 6 years. Yeah, more than 6 years. And I can tell you that since 2015, I can tell you that, so that's more than 6 years. The idea that I know everything, I don't ever believe that, because I don't. I acknowledge the fact that I don't know everything. I acknowledge the fact that I'm going to lose sometimes, because you must be humble. You understand? You must be humble, because if you're not, the market will humble you. This industry will humble you, right? So you must have a good understanding of how this place works, how this industry works. You must be willing to constantly learn, right? Constantly absorb, be like a sponge, be like water, take the shape of your vessel, right? You must be willing to plan ahead, right? If you can't plan ahead, forget it. Don't even waste your time, right? Because you can't treat this like a hobby. If you're treating it like a hobby, you'll get results like a hobby. In other words, if it is you're treating it, you're just trying to make money here and there, you're going to make money here and there. If you want to treat it like you're going to make money from this thing, you have to make money from this thing by treating it like a business. And all businesses need to plan ahead. Plan ahead for a rainy day. What is it that you're trying to do? Where you're trying to do it? When you're trying to do it? How you're trying to do it? Who are you trying to do it to or for? Right? You have to understand all of the logistics. We need to understand good technical analysis. In other words, you need to understand what it is you're looking at. This is something that a lot of traders tend to focus on so much that they put everything else that I just spoke about aside. They focus so heavy on the technical analysis that they forget about psychology and emotional control and risk management and numbers and all of that. But I can tell you, it's an important aspect, but it's not the only aspect, right? We need to have a good understanding of data collection, right? If you're running a business, you know that collecting data is a good thing. you know that making sure that what you would have done in the last quarter, the last 3 quarters, the last year, the last 3 years, etc., is good data that you can either improve on, or you can see where you went wrong, or etc. But the main thing is you have to grab the data. This is the act of journaling. So when you take a trade, journal it out, map it out, lay out what it is you did, why you did it, when you did it, where you did it, what did you do, what currency pair, what time, what day. Map it out. If you cannot do any of these things, my friends, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. So to answer the question, no, trading is not for beginners. But if you are a beginner in this industry and you're coming into this industry, right, and you don't want to adhere to these things, yeah, you're going to have a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So I hope that this answers the question. It's a question that I know a lot of people might have, especially if it is you on the fence about coming into the industry. I would tell you that be very, very careful of listening to people who say that you can make millions of dollars overnight. That's not true. At least not in the absolute beginning, right? You can make more or less anything you want to make in this industry if it is you good enough. But you see, when somebody's telling you, yeah, come into this thing and come and just join me and you'll make $1 million overnight, or I make money every day. That's also probably not very true, right? The reality is most traders who are actually traders, who actually trade on the market and are doing this thing for real, I will tell you that they actually do take quite a bit of losses sometimes, right? They mightn't always be losing. Most times they will be winning if it is they are profitable. But the main thing is they acknowledge their losses. And that is something, anytime somebody telling you they have a 99% win to loss ratio, a 95% win to loss ratio, yeah, run far. Run far and fast. Don't even look back, right? Don't even turn around to look at them. Run very far and very fast. Yeah? So I hope that this made some sense to you. And yeah,